Welcome to Coffee Talk. I'm Kelley Knitz, and this is Justin Kellogg from Sterling Home Builders. And today I want to talk about how to go about finding a lot. And one of the things you really have to decide is if you want to live in the country or in the city, because they require different things to look for when you're out shopping for a lot. For instance, if you want to have natural gas and insist on natural gas, then usually the houses closer in town have that. Occasionally you'll find something in a country setting with natural gas, but usually you have to use propane or a
Yeah,
different.
absolutely.
Yeah.
You have to get listings from the utility companies, and they have maps of where gases ran, waters ran, um, sewers ran. So if you do want public water, public sanitary sewer, and natural gas and stuff like that, then that's a big key to,
Hmm.
if that's one of your criteria you want to make sure that that lot has everything you want for it.
Yeah, for instance, we built our house out in the country, and the natural gas line was down, a few houses. So we paid extra. They did give us a certain number of feet free, but then we paid a little bit extra to have the gas line drugged to our house. So we're able to use natural gas. So if you want to have a house in the country, the things you really have to consider are what type of septic system
Yep,
do you need
there's
to have.
you have to do a feasibility test and first make sure that the ground is suitable for a septic system, and then off of that it determines what type of septic system you have to have. If it's just a simple gravity flow system or something,
With a leach field?
yeah, with leach field, or something that's a little more expensive,
Like
like
a
a
sewer.
raised mountain system,
Hmm.
and you have to have a pump in it. Those are all things to keep in mind. And then, of course, a 3 or 4 bedroom house, a 3 bedroom house has a smaller system. When you jump up to a 4 bedroom house, the cost goes up quite a
Yeah,
bit.
because
So,
the tank has to be
yeah,
bigger, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
the tank's about double the size when
And
you jump up to the 4 bedroom.
and if the septic system, if the ground is not just right, then you have to have a system that is far more expensive than the other. So like,
Yes, absolutely.
so that's why you really want to check it out, because it could really change things if you need to have the mound system versus a leach field. So
And also, when you're doing your feasibility, if you want a basement versus crawl space, you want to make sure you dig test holes and make sure that you're not going to hit rock or something that would hinder you from getting a basement or the type of house you want,
hmm I
foundation wise.
suppose, when you dig the hole, that could also tell you, like how far you could dig your well if you're out in the country. And um,
Yeah, the wells, I would say in Wood County, average around 180 feet deep, and that's another thing to consider when you're picking out your land is well water, and I recommend putting a softener system in, and there's several different kinds you can get. So, and you can get on the little more expensive end of them, or you can stay fairly simple. So, it's all depends on your liking.
when you're digging for the well, how can you tell if that area has sulfur? Because a lot of people don't like that.
The sulfur is something you cannot tell until you actually dig the well.
Mm.
There's really no way of knowing that until you get
But
down to the aquifer.
right, but I know there are systems that totally eliminate that smell. I've been in houses, $300,000-$400,000 houses that have sulfur and have this huge system that takes care of it. So,
Yeah, there's several
um,
different systems that can take care of that.
so if you're not building in the country and you're building in the city, it's a lot easier. You might have to then just figure the cost of having the sewer line put in and tapping into the public water
Yeah,
system. And
yep, all your tap-in fees and just whatever jurisdiction you're in, they're all going to range a little bit.
but when you find a lot, also then you have to consider if it's in a city, if there's enough feet between the houses, because certain.
Yeah, different townships, cities, they all have their own setback rules. So
Mhm.
you have to decide on the house you want and or if you like the lot, you have to make sure you pick a house that has you can make the setback requirements.
You know, I'm gonna jump back to the properties that are in the country. You really also have to watch out and be cautious if you buy a piece of property that has a ditch or in front of it, because you'll have to add a culvert, which is also very expensive.
Yes, culverts can be pricey, especially around Wood County. There's a lot of big ditches, so you have to get a big pipe and quite a bit of stone. So there is additional expense in that.
Yeah, I don't think people realize, how much the cost of getting a lot ready, a country lot ready to build a home on, could add up to when it's all said and done.
Yeah, by the time you add the driveway and everything else, you're looking at a little bit of money.
The other thing I think people should consider is when they're looking at lots to buy is what type of easements are involved. Are there any easements associated with that piece of property? And because you can't build over, for instance, Toledo, Edison, and Columbia Gas usually have an easement toward the back of a property, and you don't want to put a shed or anything right on top of that, because what if they need to get into,
Yeah, you definitely want to do title searches and check all the easements. That's something I normally do is check for all utilities, all easements, and if you like a piece of land and we're going down the road to getting a contract, I usually try to check on all that. So,
especially I forgot the name of the company that does this. Is it called Oops? Or
yeah. Yep.
And that's where they check so that you're not digging and hitting one of their
Yep. They
lines,
come out and they stick out all the gas lines and power lines and low voltage lines.
The other thing that I would consider too when finding a lot, or in the country or in the city, is what is the future development in the area going to be like? Is there going to be another subdivision close by? Is there commercial activity that could happen? Things that could affect the value of your home later on down the line. So check the surroundings.
Yeah. You definitely want to check the surroundings and just kind of see what could happen in the future.
So I think that's, and when you go to look for a lot, just send me a message or contact me, and I can do an MLS search for you and come up with all the lots that are available in the area that you wish to look in. And then we can discuss all of those issues and talk about what you do when you do your feasibility study, and talk to Justin and see what is required of the lot in order to be buildable, and go over all of that. Anyway, so that's our segment on finding a lot. And if you want more information on it, just go ahead and message me, and I look forward to talking further about this. If you want to be notified of other videos coming up regarding home building, let us know and we'll notify you. But that's it for today. Thanks for joining us.